Hello everyone, my name is Ayas Karana Pandit and today I'm going to explain about the intro to wireless communications. So let's get into it. First thing is we're going to talk about the history and the future of wireless communications. Wireless communication history dates back to thousands of years ago, and the first primitive ways to communicate wirelessly is by using a smoke signal, as you can see right here, or by using a carrier pigeons. And the breakthrough starts during the electromagnetic era, that is started by Marconi. It is started by the invention of radio that uses air to propagate the electromagnetic wave. And in the military area, it is the most intent to use the wireless communication system, since during a battle, the one with more cutting edge technology wins the battle. And another example is the development of the Enigma code that is started by the Germany in World War II. And the next part is the commercialization of cellular since 1988 until now. And this demand propels the wireless technology. And as you can see, there's also wireless fidelity. And in the near future, there could be IoT, next gen cellular or Wi-Fi, smart homes, AI, driving car, body area network, and etc. Now, let's move on into the challenges first. The challenges of the network and radio. The first one is the uh, objective to get high data rates with few errors. This means that with a higher quality file, it uses higher data rate, and it is important to provide higher data rate with fewer error percentages. And for the energy efficiency, nowadays, more people use more than one telecommunication device, such as phones, laptops, tablets, and etc. And all of this needs to be powered by electricity, which means that there's an increased usage in electricity resources. Thus, the device needed to be more efficient by utilizing better battery or etc. The next one is the scarcity of spectrum. In wireless communications, it is delivered through a spectrum which is limited. Each telecommunication technology has its own designed dedicated spectrum. For example, FM radio works in 88 megahertz up to 108 megahertz, and 5G works in 3.3 to 3.8 gigahertz, and etc. The next part is the reliability and coverage. And the coverage part is when hard to reach area requires telecommunication, and the only thing that can cover it is maybe a satellite for a moment. And reliability is also an issue regarding to the lifespan of the telecommunication devices. And the next part is the heterogeneous network, which means that there are different types of network technology, such as 3G, 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi, and etc. that needs to work seamlessly. And the last part is the seamless inter-network handoff, which can be represented like when a person calls to another person in a far distances. So this means that it is sending service to another BTS or base transceiver station, so that you can call person from far areas seamlessly without interruption. This is a challenge since during the call you are disconnected from the BTS in your local region, and it is redirected into another BTS in your destination area. And now let's move on to the challenges for the devices and SoC. The first one is the performance. Now the ability for phones is somewhat comparable into a PC or a laptop. And for the complexity, nowadays it is getting more complex with a smaller parts packed inside the device. The third one is the size, power, cost, and energy. And the next one is the high frequency or the millimeter wave, in which it means that people demands high data rate, and it can only be provided with high frequency, and that is being delivered by this millimeter wave. And the multiple antennas is that in current gen phones, uh, there are more than one antennas, and typically there are four antennas, 2 by 2. And the next one is the multi-radio integration, which uh, means that multi-work frequencies, and that phones can be used for either Wi-Fi, radio, GPS at the same time. And the last part is coexistence, which means that our smartphones today still needs to have coexistence with older technology. And this figure is showing another problem where the spectrum is almost full, and to prevent this, government should regulate the usage of the spectrum. And now we come to the solution, which is the SD radio, or the software defined radio. And it is one of the solutions to the listed challenges previously. This SD radio can be seen as a software in which a DSP right there, or the digital signal processor, can be programmed so that it can use for any technology, either 3G, 4G, 5G, maybe 6G, and etc. And one of the device for SD radio is like this, the HackRF1. Okay, now let's move on into the Shannon's famous theory that the equation basically states the limit, the capacity of the spectrum. So this theory, it quantifies the information. The total information or capacity of information is affected by the signal to noise ratio. So this is the power of the signal, and this is the power of the noise, and this is the signal to noise ratio. And it is also affected by the bandwidth right here. So when high power is used, we can send or receive more information, and vice versa. And when the bandwidth is larger, more information can be placed, and it is vice versa if the bandwidth is smaller. So now from this equation, there are many debates or statements arise on whether are we at the capacity limit of the wireless channels or not. And in this, some views may be correct, and some may be wrong. So from this formula, the capacity of the spectrum is actually unlimited as long as there is an unlimited power, and the noise minimization is great. Thus, the limitation can be minimized with a better device overall. And a device that is sensitive is a good device, since it can sense a small power. Thus, there is no need for amplifier to detect small signals. And moving on into the problems right here. The first one is the time varying channels, which means that the capacity depends on the time varying channels, and that the channel is fluctuating over time due to the interference, and it is visible in the wireless communication, while in guided channel it is more stable. The second one is the channels with interference or relays, which makes the capacity harder to define. The next one is cellular systems, the ad hoc and sensor networks, and last but not least, the channels with delays, energy, and money constraints. And from here, we can scramble things up and make a conclusion that this Shannon's theory can be used as a reference for the performance limit. Okay, so now let's move on into another solution, which is the spectrum regulation. And since spectrum is a scarce public resource, hence it is allocated and controlled by Cominfo. Uh, Cominfo auctions spectrum blocks for set applications. And in this spectrum, some spectrums are for universal use, such as Wi-Fi, and the worldwide spectrum is controlled by ITR. And another one is the standards. Worldwide, the standards are determined by ITU-T. In the USA, it is determined by TIR or CTIA, and it requires standards since there are many interacting systems, and the last one is that companies want their systems to be adopted as the standards. Okay, so now let's move on into another solution, which is the spectral reuse. So let's focus on the image on the left here, and there are three colors, which is the red, green, and blue, and this represents a different frequency used, and this spectrum is there's a gap in between these spectrums because it is used to avoid interference that can deteriorate performances. And in here, it is the example of the license bands, which we have talked previously. There are spectrums that are for universal use and the ones that are auctioned. And for this one, it is the license band. This is the example of this is the FM radio, cellular, and etc. And it is paid from the internet operator to the government. And the right here is the unlicensed band, or the example is the Wi-Fi, the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and etc. And it is void of regulation, and since it is not regulated, it is crowded and hence prone to lag. And now let's move on into IoT. So basically, IoT enables every electronic device to be connected to each other and to the internet. It includes many things: smartphones, consumer electronics, car sensors, and etc. As you can see right here, and all of these things is processed into the cloud, and it makes a great interconnection between all of these different home, transport, community, national, and etc. Devices. So the cloud can scan analytics and the visualizing tools for this IoT. Now let's move on into the current and next gen wireless systems. So the first one is the current. In short, so for the 4G, 4G itself is an all IP network. It has higher data rates compared to 3G, and it also has greater spectral efficiency compared to 3G and etc. The next one is the 6G Wi-Fi, which has speeds up to 1 gigabit per second or 10 gigabit per second for this AX version, and it is for approximately 200 feet range. The next one is the millimeter wave massive MIMO systems. The next one is satellite systems. For the satellite systems, there are from the orbit, it can be classified into three, which are the geostationary orbit, medium Earth orbit, and the low Earth orbit. And it is optimized for a one-way transmission. And each of those different orbit positions has a different trade-offs. And the next one is the Bluetooth. It is a short-range cable replacement radio frequency tag. And the next one is the Zigbee, and it is used in Arduino as the communication module, if you have worked with Arduino before. And the last one is the WiGig. And for the next gen, there are the 5G cellular, which there's a figure down here that compared it into 4G. Yeah, as you can see, more than 1 gigabit per second peak data rates, 10 to 100 more devices, 10 years on battery, and less than 1 milliseconds of radio latency, ultra reliability, and etc., which is better compared to 4G. The next one is the 7G Wi-Fi, the ad hoc and cognitive radio networks, energy harvesting systems such that of wind or solar powered BTS, and the last one is chemical or molecular communications. And all of this has still has much room for innovations. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you, everyone.